This is Engadget. It's Thursday, February 25th. Here's what's happening in the world of technology. Brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. When CBS first shared details on Star Trek Prodigy last year, it said it would premiere on Nickelodeon. That's no longer the case. The computer animated series for kids will now instead debut on Paramount Plus later this year. Only once it completes its initial 10-episode run will the series make its way to the specialty channel. The shift is part of a new strategy that will see Paramount Plus become the current and future home of everything Star Trek related. Not only will you be able to watch Star Trek Prodigy and all 726 episodes from the 6 classic series on the streaming platform, the new seasons of Discover and Picard will also call Paramount Plus home in the U.S., as will Strange New Worlds when it comes out. In gaming news, it's only been 3 weeks since Iron Gate Studio, a 5-person team in Sweden, released Valheim, and it already has a massive hit on its hands. The co-op Viking survival game has sold over 4 million copies even though it's still in early access on Steam. Valheim takes place in a procedurally generated open world in the Vikings' afterlife, where you start with almost nothing. You'll need to scrounge up food and materials, and you'll craft tools, build shelters, and fight gods and creatures. That all might sound familiar, but it's more accessible than many other survival games. You won't die if you don't eat, for instance. You don't have to worry about taking up arms against other players unless you want to either. The co-op feature supports up to 10 players, so you can play with 9 of your friends. With the help of all that, plus a degree of polish that's missing from many early access games and an extremely metal trailer, Valheim has taken off in a huge way. Last weekend, it hit a peak player count of over 500,000, a feat that only 4 other games have ever achieved on Steam. Even big hitters like Grand Theft Auto 5 and Destiny 2 topped out in the 130,000 to 150,000 range. Iron Gate says that players have already spent more than 10,000 years exploring, building, and battling in its game. Valheim has proven to be popular among Twitch streamers and viewers too. It hit peak concurrent viewership of 188,000 earlier this week. It remains to be seen whether Valheim can sustain this level of interest and momentum in the long run as Iron Gate continues to work on the game. Although it's PC only for now, future console and mobile versions would surely boost interest. At least for now, Valheim seems untouchable. If you want to catch the latest tech news as it's happening, check out Engadget.com or tune in again every weekday.
You don't have to create the latest in tech or launch a rocket to Mars to get State Farm's surprisingly great rates on car insurance. State Farm has coverage that'll meet your budget just for being you. So whether you're wireless, screen-free, solar-powered, AI, or just hanging out in VR, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.